Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Annisa Sekar. I'm first semester student from Bengkulu University, majoring in accounting. On this occasion, I want to show you how to make a general journal using Microsoft Excel in accounting. The general journal itself is one of the journals created to record financial transactions that have been identified, and the evidence of these transactions will then be classified to be recorded in accounts. Every time a transaction occurs and when the transaction is recorded in the general journal, it involves at least two accounts, namely one account on the credit side and other account on the debit with the same nominal. Alright, before recording, we need 1. Data from a company transaction proof. 2nd, setting up the Microsoft application Excel. This is optional, can be recorded manually using a ledger. And 3rd, prepare accounts for placing transaction. Right here, I will show you the step in making a general journal. 1. Collect and identify evidence of transaction to be journalized in advance. 2nd, after that, we must understand the accounting equation first, that is, asset equal to liabilities plus equity. Then, one must understand the classification of the accounts contained in the accounting to find out which account the transaction will be placed in. Its classification is: first, assets. Assets consist of 4 types in the form of 1. Current assets. There are assets whose useful life is less than 1 year. Current assets include cash, notes receivable, account receivable, merchandise inventory, equipment, prepaid expense, accrued income. 2. Long-term investment. This is an asset whose useful life is more than 1 year. Long-term investment includes bonds, shares, and property. And 3rd, fixed asset. This is an asset whose useful life is more than 1 year. Fixed assets include land, building, machine, equipment. And 4. Intangible assets includes copyright, patent, goodwill, and trademark. 2nd, liabilities. Liabilities consist of 3 types in the form of 1. Current liabilities include notes payable, deferred charges, unearned revenue, and account payable. 2. Long-term liabilities include bank payable, mortgage payable, and bond payable. And other liabilities include payable to the creditors and shareholder. Next, equity. Equity includes 1. Personal capital, capital stock, deposit capital for cooperatives or member capital, share capital ordinary, retained earnings, revenue, expense, and dividend. Okay, after that, the next step is to memorize the normal balance of each of these accounts. You can see the table beside. First, in the assets account, the normal balance is a debit. If the balance increases, then the position is debit, and if the balance decreases, the position is credit. Then, in the expense account, the normal balance is a debit. If the balance increases, then the position is debit, and if the balance decreases, the position is credit. In the dividend account, the normal balance is a debit. If the balance increase, then the position is debit, and if the balance decrease, the position is credit. Furthermore, in the liabilities account, the normal balance is credit. If the balance increase, then the position is in credit, and if the balance decrease, then the position is debit. As with equity and revenue account, the normal balance is credit. If the balance increase, then the position is in credit, and if the balance decrease, then the position is debit. The next steps in the Make General Journal, turn on the computer and open the Microsoft Excel programs. Then create a column consisting of the date, description or account name, reference or account code, debit column, and credit column. After that, add title at the beginning of the General Journal. Example are: next, the step that we must understand is every financial transaction that occurs will be recorded by involving at least two accounts, of which one account will be debit and one account will be credit. Then, enter the transaction into the General Journal. Example are: after a transaction is recorded in the General Journal, the debit and credit amounts must be same. After the result of the debit and credit balance, the General Journal has been complete. You can see an example from a General Journal in the following picture. Okay, that's the only way to make a General Journal from me. If there is a mistake, I apologize. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.